Hi, everyone. So, I'd like to do a reading today for what we are manifesting. Because, as many of you already know, we're always manifesting something. We just don't always know that we are. So, for those of you who are intentionally manifesting or using the moon to manifest, this will be a good way for us to check in to make sure that you're manifesting the things that you want in. And for those of you who are unintentionally manifesting things, it's a good idea to check in and make sure we're bringing in the things that we actually want. I do know many of us are following our North Node right now. A lot of us are going through ascensions. We're doing the things that we feel like we're intuitively being called towards. And we're seeing a lot of successes having to do with that. But it's always good just to check in to make sure we're on the right track. So I feel like I want to shuffle those again. So let's see what energy first wants to come out. So we have the Queen of Swords. So with the Queen of Swords coming in first as your overall energy, I get the feeling that you are very clear on something. So this could be a good sign that you're very clear about what it is that you are manifesting. The Queen of Swords is often very clear about opportunities that are right in front of them, and knowing what things to commit to, what things to not, what things to pay attention to, what things to let go by the wayside. Queen of Swords is a very clear type of energy, knows her truth, stands in her power, doesn't take any BS from anybody. She's very, I sometimes refer to her as my human lie detector. So that's a really good way to start this reading, especially a manifesting reading. When you're very clear on what you want, it makes our manifestations a lot easier to come in. So there's the Tower, Two of Swords, the Sun, Ace of Pentacles. Underneath, the Hierophant, Seven of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Chariot. Underneath everything is the Page of Wands. What I like about the Page of Wands hiding under everything in this reading is that the Page of Wands holds the magic wand. So again, this is a good indication that what you're manifesting really wants to come in. So there's an idea with the page too that something is blooming, because the page is a very small type of energy. It's an energy of potential beginnings. So it does give me the impression that something here is really blooming for you. So again, this is a good sign about our manifestations. But let's go through these one by one and see what we can figure out. So we have the Tower card here, and it feels to me like you're resisting something. You're resisting perhaps an ending to something. I'm also seeing the Seven of Wands here, which is a defensive type of position. So whether or not you need to be defensive, we'll figure out as we go. But it does feel like you're trying to avoid something. But the universe is very much in control when I see the Tower. So there's a message coming through with this Tower that to not overthink something. If something is falling out of your life, if something happened suddenly that you weren't expecting. So for example, if you recently lost a job, if you recently were broken up with, if someone abruptly left your life, make it make sense for you. But if something like that has just happened with the Tower, that's usually what's gone on. There's a need for you to not overthink that and to just let it fall by the wayside. Let it burn, let it whatever, because the universe wants something out of your life when the Tower card appears. And so if the universe doesn't want it in your life, then you shouldn't either, because the cards are telling me that that's the direction this is supposed to go in. And the universe knows so much more than we do, so much more than we do, and what's best for us. So this tower is cluing me in that you might be very clear about what you want, but the cards are telling me, but that's not the best thing for you. So don't overthink this. So just keep facing your true north and just let this crumble, let this fall away. What I like about the Hierophant being here is that you're stepping into this power, perhaps of being some kind of a teacher, some kind of a leader for others. It could be that you are learning a karmic lesson right now. The Hierophant can show up sometimes as our karmic teachers. So I do feel like this tower had to happen for you in order to learn something more about the situation than perhaps you were aware of. That some kind of, the tower is bringing something to light for you, that you were meant to move away from whatever it is that's falling out of your life so that you can learn this lesson. And sometimes when we learn these lessons, then we can wrap this up and move on with the rest of our lives. So, for example, if it was a toxic job, if it was a toxic relationship, whatever that is for you specifically, the universe removed it because it was standing in your way of your manifestations. So, but I do, again, see you in this Seven of Wands, very defensive type of energy, which is cluing me in that whatever it is that's trying to leave your life or that the universe has removed from your life, that you feel a certain sense of attachment to that and that you feel devoted to that, or you feel like you're longing for that. So if someone just broke up with you, you're feeling very defensive, like you want to stand your ground and say, but this is why we should still be together. Or if you lost a job, you're making a case for why you need to keep that job or something like that. That's what the cards are saying. But this Two of Swords here is telling me that you have had something on your mind for a while now, that you knew you had a choice to make. So using our examples of you lost a job or you were broken up with, for example, this Two of Swords is telling me that for a while now, you have already been considering leaving that job. You have already been considering leaving that relationship. But because you never did anything about it, you've just been kind of sitting in this energy of should I or shouldn't I, or what should I do, or what's the next move? And you never really took real action towards that on your own. That I feel that that's when the Tower came in and just did it for you. Because the universe knows that you know intuitively it's the best thing for you. And the cards are confirming that this is the best thing for you. There is a person in your environment who's showing up as a Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a highly supportive person. And in this case, I'm getting the sense that this is business related. So as I go through these cards and I'm picking up more information, I do feel like this has to do with some kind of a job, a career change, that there has been a sudden career change for you. That's going to be for most of you, but make it make sense for you. It does feel like there's someone in your environment. So for example, if you were just fired from a job, there's someone around you who's going to be able to help you with that, because the universe isn't just going to take things away from you and then not replace it with something that's better. So this Queen of Pentacles is showing up in your environment as someone maybe who can help you to manifest more money, or to help you reach your goals, or to give you financial assistance, or help you get a new job, something like that. So if an offer comes in, and I really want to skip ahead to this Ace of Pentacles, which represents an offer. So I can see already, if I may skip ahead, that you are manifesting in a new offer. And there's someone in your environment, it looks like they're going to help you do that. So if you get some kind of an offer, if your phone rings, if you get an email, if you get a text, if something like that, someone's going to show up with some kind of an offer, this is very clearly already in your environment. So there's someone around you who the universe is already making sure that you have some kind of protection from having been forcibly removed from this job, for example. So make that make sense for you and your situation. I think that recently in your past, you felt like you were on the right track with this other job, or that you felt very comfortable with that other job, or there were things about that other job that were making you feel perhaps like you couldn't leave, which I think contributed to why you hadn't yet made a decision, which is again why the universe had to do a divine intervention and get you out of there. So if you're still thinking that this other job was really the thing for you, I think that you're being really pushed towards this energy of transformation, that you're bigger than that job, or you're bigger than that relationship, or your potential is so much greater than what you were doing there. But it looks like you were never really going to see that for yourself. This Page of Wands is here reminding me that your potential is so much greater elsewhere. But if you couldn't see that for yourself, if you thought that this past job or this past relationship was the greatest thing for you and you could never do better than that, then that would explain why you haven't changed your mind about that, or why you haven't made a decision about that. But now it's the universe is really changing these things for you. And my guess is because you've already gone through the healing, that the universe is saying, but you're ready now. You're ready for whatever your next potential is. You're ready for your next level up. So we have the King of Cups showing up here. And this is really telling me, this feels like your shadow side to me a bit, that often during career readings, and I feel like this is becoming one, that many of us were told, perhaps in our childhood or perhaps in early adulthood or perhaps in college, make it make sense for you, but that we shouldn't follow our hearts when it comes to our jobs, that we should do the thing that will provide us with the most money. And so this King of Cups is here saying there's some other thing that you would love to do, that your heart wants to do, but you're staying in this other job, or you continued to stay in this other job because it makes more money, for example. And so there is this shadow side of you coming through here saying, okay, but now I've lost this job and this new offer is coming in, but the offer is for something that my heart wants. It's not really necessarily going to be the thing that's going to continue to pay my bills. And so I think there's also a message coming through here about just kind of ride this storm, because you know you're in the middle of a storm anyway. If the tower hit and you lost your job, to use that example, you're in the middle of a storm anyway. So just kind of ride the storm and go along with it. Sort of let this storm purify your energy so that you can look at this in a different way and say, hold on, maybe I can do the thing I love and make money while I'm doing it. What I love at the end of this spread here is we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot. The Ace of Pentacles is about more money, offers, and the Chariot is about wildly successful. So what this is telling me is that this offer that's coming in for you, that's going to help to replace whatever job you were just forcibly removed from, that Ace of Pentacles is here coming in to help you overcome whatever obstacles were there. But also that this is going to be an opportunity for you to take charge of whatever this offer is, do the thing that your heart wants most, and be wildly successful while you're doing it. So this is amazing. So what this tells me is you may have been unintentionally manifesting something else. You may have been manifesting getting your old job back. But instead, the universe stepped in and said, no, you can't have that. The universe said, you cannot have that job. That is not for you. There's something better. And stepped in, brought you someone, a very nurturing, supportive, financially helpful person who's going to give you an offer so you can take off running with something that you love very much. So amazing. So let's, I'd like to pull a few more tarot cards just to see what you should be focusing on, what your challenges might be, your current energy. So we have the Two of Swords again. So we have the Two of Swords showing up twice. And this is what I was saying. This is you not making a decision on your own. You're still wavering between, should I stay with this job? Should I try this new job? Should I find another job just like my old one? Should I take the offer for the thing that my heart wants the most? Your current energy is one of, should I stay or should I go? And the universe is now saying, well, it's not up to you anymore because we forcibly removed you from that. So now go and follow your heart, because that's your true north. That's what you should be doing. And again, with the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Cups, not only is it going to bring in money for you, but it's also something that you're going to love so much more. So let's get a few more tarot cards. So there's the Two of Cups. That's coming in with this Queen of Pentacles. So this is saying to really focus on this person who's already in your environment. So this could be a business partner. This is someone who's going to bring in that offer we were talking about. For those of you that this is a love reading, this Two of Cups is the same idea, that someone broke up with you. You had no control over it, but there's someone already in your environment who wants a partnership with you. So whether this is love or career, make it make sense for whatever tower moment just happened in your life. But there is certainly someone here that you're being asked to focus on who's going to make a better partner for you. Then we have the Page of Cups. This is in your challenge position, which is interesting. We'll get to that in a second. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, this is really interesting for all the reasons. The Knight of Cups is here. As I was saying, this is about following your heart. The Knight of Cups is the card in the deck of the person who follows their heart, and that's in your advice position. The advice for you is to follow your heart, and that is exactly what I have been saying. To do the thing that you've always wanted to do. So it's no coincidence that the Page of Cups has fallen in your challenge position, because the Page of Cups is your inner child. This is what your inner child loved to do the most when you were a child. Think back and remember, what was that thing that you loved more than anything? And if this offer that's coming in is related to that thing that you used to love to do when you were a child, then this is your message to take that offer. And to really also try to seek guidance from your inner child. Get the perspective of your inner child. Get quiet and ask your inner child, what was it that I loved to do the most? What was I most talented at? What was my gift as a child? Because it probably still is. And if there's an offer coming in having to do with that matches that, then this is absolutely letting me know that this is what the universe is meant for you to do. So let's get some big picture oracle cards. See if we can get a little more energy. So there's the eye, the stork, and the fox. So the fox is very often a card of careers, jobs, strategically thinking about how you want to do a job and what that looks like. And coming in with the eye, this is saying that someone recognizes your talents. Someone recognizes exactly what you are good at, which I think is why this Queen of Pentacles is showing up here with an offer. So someone already has their eye on you and is saying, hold on, I think this person is going to be really suited for whatever this is. And I really want this person to be my partner. So, and then with the stork, of course, the stork is about upgrades. This is why the tower hit. This is why you were forcibly removed from this old job, because you're going through an upgrade. The universe wants to upgrade your life, your job, your career, your just your overall standard of living. That's what the stork represents, upgrades. So I think I want to pull 2 Moonology cards because this is a manifesting spread. And then we will close this out with 1 chakra card so we can look at your chakra energy too. So we have first quarter moon in Libra with keep your heart open. So currently we have a first quarter moon in Virgo. So it's not an exact match of what we have going on right now, but this, again, this message of keeping your heart open is exactly what we were talking about. Follow your heart. Ask your inner child what you love most, because this is absolutely telling you to keep your heart open and follow your heart. This is the time to follow your heart. And then we have full moon in Capricorn with take a reality check. So it's always a good time to do a reality check. I like that a lot because you might be telling yourself, hold on, this is not realistic for me to partner up with this person and do my dream job. I got to go back and get my old job back. But this is saying, hold on, take an actual accounting of what that would look like, what this offer would mean for you. We're seeing an Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is a very large pentacle. It represents large sums of money that are being offered. So there is a need to maybe adjust how you see reality in the sense that you don't have to just do your old 9-to-5 job, that there are other ways that you can follow your heart and still make enough money to put food on your table, for example. So let's close this out with one chakra card, because Reiki is what I do. And I always like to check the energy around you. So we have root chakra with assertive. I love this because this means that your root chakra is grounded and that you're able to really stand up for yourself in these situations. So I do feel like when this offer does come in, I feel like there's a real need to root this in. And I love that we have the root chakra in a manifesting spread, because if our root chakra is grounded, that is exactly what allows our manifestations to come in. So whether or not you knew that you were manifesting in a new offer, this is certainly what this reading is telling me. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.